Suchi, Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sunam Ki, Drola Benshir Sangye Juparsho, Sangye Chulam Soki Chonam La, Shanshu Badu Dami Kyapsuchi, Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sunam Ki, Drola Benshir Sangye Juparsho.
What? Something we can understand, yeah. What did the demons do to stop the Tibetans from doing Om Mani Padme Hum? They invented chura kambo. Just dried cheese cubes. You can't do mantras while you're chewing it. It takes like 5 hours to get through one. They prevented millions of Om Mani Padme Hums. Seiji has a new method. I'm calling it powerful, huh? Seiji's text, as you may remember.
Can I put you on the screens?
Oh, sorry. Seiji's text, it was typed in from a woodblock, and then it was printed in pages. So it has both pages and woodblock folios, which is a great idea, and it's what we do. So, whoever did it was smart. But it's also a little confusing because, you gotta see whether it's page or folio, okay? So we finished 92 pages, which is 30 folios or 60 folio faces, which is 1.5 pages per folio face. We're finishing about 8 folio faces. We finished 8 folio faces and 12 pages in term 9. So we got through 8 folio faces, which is about one of the fastest, because it's not going to need a lot of footnotes and stuff like that. So I predict 20 pages or 13 folio faces we're going to finish in this term, and we will reach page 113 or folio 13. There are 211 pages total. Anyway, bottom line, he can finish in October 2021. Also, bottom line, his book is going to be one of the largest, which is kind of, you wouldn't expect it, but he's going so fast. His ending book will be over 600 pages. It'll be about a third thicker than the Diamond Cutter book. Okay, so he's the fattest. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we're going to the root text, okay? Of what? Say it for people who don't know.
So the root text of my text is the Crown of Knives, which is a class, root text written by Dharma Rakshita, which he gave to Lord Atisha when he was going to Tibet. And it's about correlations, and this is a class. These are the notes taken from a student to a class by a teacher called Trichin Tempara.
Yeah, so this is a live lecture, which is the only one we have, I think. Very beautiful. What's unique about Seiji's text?
It's common language.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
that's true. But what's more unique? This lecturer drops into Tantra rather frequently. Okay, so you get some really sexy stuff here. Okay, here we go. Root text, please read.
Dakan ranki dayi sepata lenge sungcha rangla kowai.
Good, your pronunciation's surpassing some of the people who got here before you. I won't name names. Shepani, we're going to go straight to the text because and I didn't have time to block out the root text, but we'll do it. Okay, please read this first sentence. Kewa Shim.
Kewa nyoma nam su ang nam sonki nam nge nam su dukha te dunya na sok myong shin ta tung yang le neng pe wang ki myong war wang gyu wa tan che kyan.
Okay. Kewa Ngunma?
Earlier, previous verse.
My previous lives. Nam Suang in those lifetimes. And by the way, there's going to be 2 Angs, I think, probably. Well, there should have been. Okay. Gensong? Yeah, 3 lower realms. Ne Namsu. In those realms, I got a lot of dukkha, which is the Sanskrit word for suffering. Okay. The S changes to heavy breathing before ka, so it was duska. The dus came into Greek as dysfunctional, dys. Okay, so it means bad. Some people say bad wheel in a wagon. Anyway, suffering, and he explains it. Okay, he positivizes it. He says dukkha, by the way, which means dunya. Okay, so in those previous lives, in the lower realms, I experienced nyong, a whole variety of sufferings, okay? A wide spectrum of sufferings, and dadung. Dadung means and still more. Dadung means yet more, okay? It's an idiom, okay, dadung. Now on top of that, again, there's the other ang, okay? Angs that come in pairs often, okay? So as in my previous lives, now in this life, Leng Embe Wangki, yeah, due to my bad karma, Nyongwa Gyurwa, I will experience, okay, Gyurwa. And all of those sufferings, moreover, okay, all of those past life sufferings and this life sufferings are, then he gives a very sexy metaphor.
That can ranki ranki dai sepa talte.
Okay, let's stop there and read that. What's a da?
Arrow.
Yeah, it means an arrow. The most famous arrow is?
One shot at Buddha.
Yeah, the ones that were shot at the Buddha just before, well, as he was getting enlightened, and they changed into flowers halfway through the year. So Da Ken is Acharya in this case, and it means a master of archery. Archery here just means an archer. So that can mean ER. Okay. In Vinaya, it's vow giver or abbot. Okay. So the archer was a sepa.
Killer.
Was killed, Rankda.
Oh, by his own arrow?
Yeah, it's the story of the archer who was killed by his own arrow. Okay? So the root text says, we are like people who get killed with their own arrows. And then he's going to explain it. Here we go. Dila.
Nyong chung ki lo kyu kyang yut.
I'm going to cut it there. Okay? Ngun chung logyu. Logyu is a word that means story. There's a story behind this. Logyu means story, and it's very common in colloquial Tibetan. You know, Logyu Rimbo. He's telling me a long story about why he couldn't get me a train ticket, but you know. So it's very colloquial, Logyu. It looks like an instrumental, and it's not. So I just made a note there. It just means a story. And you don't call stories of saints logyus. You call them topa jupa, avadana, things like that. So you don't use this for old stories. But just, you know, there's a what do you call it? Colloquial story about the guy who killed himself with his own arrow. And here it is. Here we go.
Narma that
Who got the plain word?
I'll do it. Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
nar da nar da
Right.
shik
Nice.
gi shen la ngö pe cheer tuma shintu mo
That is on my two. That.
Tu nda
tumda shintu shintu nowa tu chupa chokse
pokte.
pokse chirwan yurwa shi sepa.
Let's stop there, okay? Just to make it easier for you, to make your life easier. Nar, in days gone by,
Prior.
long ago, once upon a time,
Long one. Yeah.
in English you say once upon a time, there was a daken.
Archer.
The sheik is A, there was an archer. And Shenla Nevechir,
He did harm to others.
cheer,
Because he did harm to others.
in order to, here,
Oh.
okay? Because he wanted to hurt other people, he fashioned a da.
An arrow.
It was Shinto Noah.
Super sharp. Very sharp.
Yeah, very sharp. Not only that, he chupa took on it.
He put poison. He smeared.
Yeah,
poison
he
all
smeared poison all over the tip, okay? And this next part is an adjectival clause, okay? Which was such that if you got poked by it, you would die. Okay, poked. Okay, so it was a pokeable, dyeable arrow. Okay. He fashioned it. He made it. What's the word in Tibetan for a factory?
Soka?
Soda. Yeah, and that dra means fenced-in area, which is dratsang. Yeah, daba. Okay, so soda. Very, very common when you're speaking colloquial Tibetan. People say, "Oh, he's soda yona. He has a factory." Okay. Girwashi supale. J-sor is an. Keep going. J-sor.
Jesor ho ran kiao poi kyul
You'll do.
yul tu song we tse la ko ran ki se pe dat te chok ne
Poke ne.
chiwe lo kyu yu pata.
Stop there. Jesu.
Afterwards.
Yeah, this lay is kind of like and then. Okay. Slight disjunctive. He made that arrow, and then later on, he went to fight in the battle of his president or king here. Okay, in the battle that was decided on by those smart people who ran the country. And I went there. And then this arrow, which he had previously fashioned, poke. Yeah, he got excited. He's going to shoot at somebody. He's pulling it out of the quiver, and he scratched himself with it. Okay. And guess what happened? Yeah, he died. Okay, that's the logyu.
That's the story.
There's a story like that. Yopa, there's a story like that. Just like that. Okay, please start at Ranki.
Ranki sepe de
Ranki Dikle. Next to the last line.
Ranki dikle mantu sakpe lengen sungcha rangla korwa yin par san.
You can pretty much translate that. I did a lot of dikbele.
I did a lot of bad deeds.
Yeah, I did a lot of bad deeds. I socked by them.
I collected them.
Yeah, and now that lengun suncha
Now that wheel of knives. Evil knives.
of bad karma, okay, of bad karmas,
Is
okay, rangla kor.
coming back to me.
It's coming back to me, good. Think that way. Always think that way. When you meet someone who irritates you or something bad happens to you, then you are the guy who intended to hurt someone else, and that intention poisoned you. Got it? It's very interesting. You could talk about that metaphor for a while. There's this element of his intention to kill someone else has created the harm to himself, right? Then he goes, by the way, we had the description, now we go to the
Antidote.
resolution, right? Oftentimes there's a resolution in this text. Almost always. Please continue. Tsawa?
Tani pe le la what
Park.
you check.
Yeah, okay, what's that mean? Now I will
be more careful about my bad deeds.
Yeah, good. I'll be more careful. I probably should say not to do bad deeds or something. I'll be more careful.
I'll do my bad deeds more carefully.
Yeah. I'll make sure they poke somebody else.
I won't cut myself with the arrow this time.
You want to explain Pak, Professor?
Sure.
Pakma.
Is an old word.
Pakma.
Pakma is, yeah, it's an old word Tibetan that has to do with when a woman got married in those days, they would basically get married and then placed into the wife of their mother-in-law, because it would be their new husband's household, and they would become basically the slave of the mother-in-law.
Yeah.
In which case, if they did something wrong, they would be yelled at or treated badly. So pak became a word that was like synonymous with being careful.
Yeah.
So when you're pak you have care. When you're pak me, you're careless.
Good, nice. Yeah, pakma means newlywed woman, and around her mother-in-law, she should be. What do you call that? It implies subservient and quiet. Okay. Subdued. That's perfect. Okay. So anyway, please read the commentary. She. Nice prenasal. Gupe. Pangwar cha.
Gupe turno.
Yeah. Da chinche? Yeah, and that's a formula in his text. From now on, these dikpas which Ngenson the king yur.
These bad deeds which have sent me to the lower realms.
Yur.
Which will.
Yeah, future tense. These bad deeds which could throw me to the lower realms, i.e., these migewi lays. Yeah, non-virtuous karma. I will be. Now we have the verb. I will bang.
Eliminate.
And I will be careful to do that. So it's not that I'll be careful to do my bad deeds. Right? Okay. Yeah, I'll be careful to stop them. Okay. Gupa, Pawaja, Gupa, I have to do that. And that's the meaning of that last line. Duno means that's the meaning of that last line. Okay. All right, here we go.
Sawa. He will now talk to Papa Yang. Papa Yang. Can pay Bu say.
Pu. It's not a B. Yeah.
Pama Sulpatar.
Good. Nice. Okay.
It looks like we want to go and do the root text that we just finished that we skipped over and went straight to.
Oh, okay. We can do that. Let's go back to the root text. That I read the commentary, so I didn't want to let the cat out of the bag. That's another idiom I should charge you for. Do you know that one? I didn't want to let the cat out of the bag. It means I didn't want to show the end of the joke before the joke is finished. You see? Okay. I charge them for idioms. Ngenson nam tu dungal nyong nam. Sufferings that I experience in the lower realms, but he included my current life, but the root text doesn't, is similar to Dar, an archer who is killed by his own arrow. Okay, Sepatar. And then the Lengen Suncharangla Korean. The wheel of lousy karma is boomeranging back to me. Okay. Okay, new root text. Please read.
He do not talk to Papa. Can pay.
Wait. Do not talk to Papa Yang. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you get the Yang? Okay.
Yeah. Can pay. Pama Sulpatar.
Okay, good. Kim, you guys know, right? Kimba? Yeah, Kim means the home. Home. Dungel, when you get suffering at home, okay? Toktubab,
That falls from above?
it means to strike like
Oh,
lightning.
right, we had it.
Yeah, it means to, when it suddenly strikes you. Toktubab means falls on you. Yeah. But similar to lightning, okay? Now, Kyangba, I'll give $20 to anyone who can translate Sangye Kyang. 10, 9, 8, 7. Like Bob Harper counts down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Yay! Nobody got it. Sangye in Sanskrit. Kyang.
Oh, only?
Palita.
Oh.
Okay. Same. Sangye Kyang. No, Sangye Kyang.
Really?
Yeah, same verb, okay? So this Kyang, which sounds like also, but it has BS, a lot of BS. Now it means rakshita, which means taken care of. Nurtured, right, yeah. So that's the verb Kyang means to be, how do you say it? I guess nurtured, yeah. Yeah, taken care of, fed for year after year, Nick, until they're 60 and then they finally leave the house. I'm just telling Mrs. Hancock's experience. Okay, Kyabe, Putsa means child, a son. Okay, Putsa, this is the instrumental. And that bad Putsa, Supa, his pa and his ma.
Killed his parents.
Yeah, who killed his parents. So they spent all these years taking care of him, feeding him, paying for his education, which is Kyangba. And then he turned around and Supa them. Okay. And the Lengen Sunjarang Lakoyan, okay? The wheel has turned again on me, okay? Now he has a long explanation here, which is kind of interesting. Okay, here we go. Please read the next line. So to understand this verse, Dilang, for this, you gotta understand there's two kinds of Kims. There's two kinds of homes, okay? There's a big home and a little home, okay? Kim Chen and a Kim Chun, okay? The first one, which is the Kim Chen, the big home, please read. Tata, Tamboni,
Tata, Shipu, Soktan, Jelwa, Yong, Chanki,
Chop.
yeah. Tata means nowadays, right? What you see around you today. She means, it's similar to the word she, which means foundation. And it means the home or the house. Okay, home. Shi Pume means the lady of the house, like your mom. Okay, the lady who runs the household. Soktang Jawa, connected with those ladies who run the house. Okay. Yong Chok means that we normally talk about. Okay, so it's an idiom. Yong Chok means, the one that we normally talk about in relation to a lady of the house is running it, like your mom or your wife or something like that, okay? So Yong Chok here means the one that everybody talks about nowadays, okay? Kimba Tarpa, and which we know as Kimba, householder, okay? People who live there are householders. That's which house?
Kim Chen.
That's the big house. Now we're going to get an explanation of the little house. Are you ready? Please read.
Kim Chung, Ni Kim Chen, Te La Tar, Te Chu, Tabu Shin Che, Nang, Rasa, Jasa, Chasa, Sanki, Lingen, Sok, Sun, Te, Sunam, Tan, Song, Ke, Chok, Pok, So, Kim Chen, Pa, Nam, Tan, Kie, Metapur, Tapur, Sha, Tan, Tu, Pe, Göpa, Nam, Inna.
Yeah, and I'm going to adjust this. I just saw this aspect. When he says big house, he means big householder, major householder. The person, not the house. Big time householder. Then there's a small time householder, okay? So the Kim here is Kimpa, okay? Now, what's a small time householder? I'm going to put my note here. Kimchen dele tar. You tar from the kimchen.
You're free of it.
Yeah, you escape from being a major householder, a big time householder, and you go to do dharma in the monastery. Okay? But in the Tasa, in the monastic institution or nonistic institution, say again?
Why does it say both? Chasa.
This is an adjective. Tratsang ki is an adjective for lene. Okay? So you become a monastic. Lene means like manager. And there are many people, if you drop out of the Geshe course, you go to Lene. You manage the kitchen, you manage the construction, you manage the finances. People hate it. They'll stay in the Geshe course just to get out of that. So Sosa Tsu means you entered. Tsu means juk. Okay, you like get stuck as one of the managers of the monastery, okay? Then you got to do sonam, which means agriculture. It's not sunam, okay? Your name has a BSOD, and this is sonam means agriculture, farming. And tsong, selling stuff. That's tsong, okay? Selling stuff. Kepok means investing. Yeah, it means trying to get money out of an investment. And we had this struggle. Rinpoche invented the food fund for all monks. It was the first time in the history of Sarah. And he couldn't find anybody who wanted to manage it. It was always a continual struggle. He would show up and 3 people would resign and he'd appoint 2 more. And it was just constant struggle. Nobody wants to do it. They hate it. Because if you don't make money at the investing of the monastery's funds, everyone in the monastery hates you. And there's active hatred towards those people if they don't make money. So a lot of them just say, look, I'm not into it. I don't want to do it. And they have no qualification to do it anyway. They can't add, they get picked on. They get this job and then they fail. They inevitably fail. And then everyone in the monastery hates them. So everyone knows what's going to happen. So they're always like, oh, I'm out of town next week, And there'd be long line of people when Rinpoche went to resign, So anyway, that was a trouble. So they're in charge of Kepo, getting some money out of the monastery's money. So came Mappa from a kimchen.
They're no different from a big house.
Yeah, okay. Then they get stuck in a position where they're no longer distinguishable from a big time householder. Okay, metabur. And Be means to labor. Okay, Betsun, Tsundru. They gotta work themselves to the bone, fingers to the bone, shat tung tung. Their meat is, tung tung also does that. They get work to the bone. In English we say they work your fingers to the bone. They overwork, shat tung tung. Same feeling. They get their meat worked off of them. Tung tung to pick up and nam yin la. So basically they tar, the joke here is tar, right?
Yeah.
They reached freedom and walked into a place where they're asked to do the same things that they were asked to do at home, which happens to countless monks, okay? And those monasteries are huge institutions. They have huge debts. They have huge management problems. They have huge logistical problems. It's unbelievable. I was in the middle of it for 30 years, okay? Okay, Enkyang.
Enkyang. Tare ki Dini Sowor Chim Chen Ki
Kim-chen.
Kim Chen Gi Ki Wang Tu Che Pa Te Cha Tang Che Pa Tang Shi Pume La Kyung Pa Sok Yi Jung Yao Tok Tu Pap Pe Pap Pe Senti Nyam Tu.
Good. Unkyang tare, but the one in this context, okay, the present context, ta means now, tare means in the present context here, in the poetry, zor,
Mainly.
yeah, and it's a very overused word by debaters to get out of any possible objections. Mostly, or for the most part, or usually, or so your wife actually asks you to make a definitive statement, and you start with "so." Well, generally I do take out the garbage, but there's times when I don't. And okay, it's a very common word in Buddhist debate ground. You say, "Oh, mainly," yeah. Then whatever exceptions there are, you're covered. If there are no exceptions, you say mainly, you're in trouble again. Okay, Kim Chen. I'm talking about those normal household people. Wang tu chepa means this relates to, okay? In the present context, it's referring to. So this is an odd idiom. It means to make into the power, but it means relative to. The current discussion, the verse here is referring to big-time householders, okay? And when we talk about dung els tok de bapaing,
Suffering, striking like lightning.
yeah, when we talk about sudden problems descending on them, we're talking about problems like darante.
Enemies and
Yeah, you met people that you hate. People live next door who don't like you, okay? Or you have this trouble of trying to support your wife, kyongba. This is related to kyong, obviously, okay? Trying to support her. Sanskrit word for wife? Bharta. Yeah, the burden. Burden comes from it, okay?
so does Veronica.
Hey, what?
The bear in Veronica is
No, that comes from true image, ikon. Really. Vera ikon. The true face of Christ. Nah, really. Okay. Verdad, es verdad. Es verdad. Ikon. Okay. Pumela, anyway, that's how I start. Soki, Dungel, it is. Talk to Baba, say, Din Yamdu. Okay. Now, when those kind of troubles come to you in your life, sudden troubles befall you, this is how you should think to yourself, okay? Din Yamdu. You should think to yourself like this. Din Yamdu. That say means when, okay? By the way, if you're really interested, which you're not, but I don't care, if the say and the di are meant to be read as this life, it will be phrased as you read it as sendi.
right.
If it means at this time, or if it means at that time, think this, then you would say tse dinyamdu.
So you wouldn't be nasal.
Not as much prenasal. So if you care about prenasals, you can lighten the prenasal when they don't hang together. And your Tibetan will sound better to a Tibetan, and they won't know why. Okay?
And you would know whether or not to use the.
Yeah, that means you have to understand it before you say it. Yeah, which you can't. So anyway, okay, go ahead. Deni.
Deni perna pusa gashi chung good tune hui tune pame chinki kyan
Yeah, kyan.
patient want to cure hanging katsundo demi de ki se samshik ki kyan kon tro noir te mar
That's
ki
true. Is it Chomar, right?
Chomar.
Chombar.
Trombar.
Right.
So I'm sorry. Yeah, it is.
Trombar te na ki chinte chene parchipate.
Okay, cool. Berna, Butsa means a boy child, okay? Male child. Kashik, some of them. Chungudune, from the time they are young, from the time they're a little boy, the parents have chinki kyangbat them.
Have taken quite good care of them.
Yeah, it's an idiom in Tibetan, chinki kyang. They have paid kindness to them, served them with kindness. It's kyang often comes with chinki, and that's the chin in katin. Okay, so their parents, with a lot of love, took care of them. Okay, but kyang, they shen wang to gyur by nyomongs. Shen wang to gyur. Yeah, and it means they lost their selves to their negativities. It means to lose your power. They got overwhelmed by their negativities. Okay, shen wang to gyur is an idiom. Under the power of others. That's common in the mind-only school.
Right, Shenwang.
Yeah, that's the Shenwang of the three characteristics of the mind-only school, which it refers to.
Anything which comes from a cause.
Yeah, because they have delivered their power to their seed. Okay, so they're under the power. Sometimes we call it dominated characteristic. Dominance. It means that. The seed dominates the result. Okay? Shenwang to cure ne. Ne kapsu. Ne kapsu here means in the moment. In the heat of the moment. Okay? In the heat of the moment. Demita tam chung se tsam shiki. Somebody says something they like, they don't like it. Okay? Somebody says just a few words they like, they don't like it. Okay? Tam means they say something. Tam normally means conversation. Somebody says something, they like it, they don't like it, and they konto bar.
And they start getting really mad, annoyed.
Yeah, their anger blazes up. Okay. Barte. Then they jay the ngakitin.
They forget.
Yeah, good. They forget all the kindness the parents paid them for all those years. And no, to the parents. Yeah, they do something to hurt the parents. Okay. And the duksha, go ahead, you please read, Seiji.
Duksha ki ni kroktan awar chepa tak kyang chung wa tetak jita wa ba wa.
Yeah, what's duksha?
Worst. It's the worst.
Good. So, what do they call it in English? Comparative and superlative. Okay, so this is the EST in Tibetan, and you should learn it. Okay, you add SHOS to anything, and it becomes EST. Okay, the dukest. Okay, the worst. The worst. Okay, so the worst of these young men who get angry and upset and try to hurt their parents will, they will separate their parents from their life. Okay, they will kill them. And it happens, Kyang Chua. That's the worst. Okay, that's the ultimate. Just like them, Jedak Jita wa Shintu, please read.
Pran ki kyang kie wa ngokna tak chenzin ki wang ki shen tak la chinlen lokpar shelwe lengeng sungcha ran la korwar samne tonglen kompatan.
Good. Rangi Kyang, similar to those kids who kill their parents, I kiwa ngunma dak chenzin ki wonki. I shen wang to dak chenzin.
I was succumbed by the power of my own self-cherishing.
Yeah, good. I was succumbed by the power of my own self-cherishing. And then Chinlen means to repay kindness. Yeah. Chinlen means to answer for a kindness. Kardinki Len. Yeah, and now it's Len Log. You know, I repaid them a negative. How do you say that? Junlanlo. I gave the opposite response to kindness, okay? Which I hurt them, okay? There's some English idiom? I don't know.
Yeah.
Hate them and
Spades. Anyway, by the way, shell here is often seen as njel,
Oh, right.
which means to weigh something. To weigh something. And shalja is one of the synonyms for sheja,
Right.
all things which can be considered. And here it means the scale, the image of a scale. They do this and you do that, okay? You pay them back.
It's like bite the hand that feeds you.
You bite the hand, exactly, yeah. And then the lengen suncha rang lakor.
And then the wheel of knives is turned upon the again.
What was the sign that it did? How do you know you must have not, how do you know you must have not repaid the kindness of your parents properly? What will happen to you? No, this text. What was the last paragraph?
so they'll be separated.
No. Yeah, Dungel talked about.
Suffering comes out of
Yeah, Kim Che.
Yeah, big householder stuff.
Big time householder sufferings. Your wife divorces you, people try to steal your car. You know, household sufferings. Normal, what do you call it? Normal working guys' sufferings will come to you, okay? Why? Because in the context of a home, you hurt people. You didn't pay back this. Got it? So it's still in the context of a home. You know, you screwed the parents that you lived with, and then when you grow up, people hurt your home life stuff. Your car, your wife, your things like that. Okay, got it? Okay. Tsawa.
Tani Takar Ratu Jungwar Rik.
Yeah. No, but I think Xiaoping should have to translate this. Dee, 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 dee. Oh, I was sleeping, Gila.
Translate.
Tani Raptuchung or Rick. What's Rapchung? Yeah, it means to leave the home life. Okay. There's a pre-monk ceremony you can do where you agree not to get married and not to have a home life, okay? You don't become a monk, but you agree not to lead that kind of life, family life, okay? That's called Rapchung. And there's a vow, okay? Short, tiny vow. The little baby monks in the monastery who wear red clothes, they are not Nishulun.
20 years old.
They have not attained the age of 20. But they can be Rapchung, okay? And they can wear robes, okay? So, talk about Rapchung. Takpa, come on. Now, from now on, in all my lives, I will always lead the home life, okay?
This actually is permanent or something.
And Rix means, yeah, Rix means it would be right. This Rix means it would be right. It would be appropriate for me forever, meaning in all my future lives, to leave the home life. That should be my reaction to having family life hassles because I was mean to my parents. Okay. This is called the avoidance technique. It doesn't work. It doesn't work very well, by the way. Then you go in the monastery and people still hassling you. It happens. Okay. Okay. Let's read the commentary.
She dachin che tu tak par kim ki ne
Kim ki nele.
kim gi nele prap tu chung te ne par chung ne che nam par tak pe shik che tak pa shik che de pen no.
Good. She dachin che. From now on, to Takpa. He's like commenting, he's giving commentary on Takpa. Do Takpa all the time. It means permanently. Kim Ginele, from the status, okay? Ne means condition or status. From the status of a householder, I will rub the chung, which is to say, ngepanjung. Okay.
Definitely.
I will step out of the home life, meaning I will definitely go out of the home life. And that's the root of the word ngenjung, which means renunciation. So literally the word for the first principle path is to definitely get out of the home life. Okay.
So would you just translate this as renounce?
Well, it's going to be a translator's quandary because you're going to have to, it's going to have to be two parallel words.
Yeah.
The first of which means leave the home life. But the second one is going to have to imply renunciation.
Renounce the whole life.
Yeah, you can say that. But it's going to have to look like the second phrase is meant to explain the first phrase. Because the first phrase is in the root text.
I'll leave the home life, meaning I'll definitely leave the home life.
Yeah. All right, you guys figure it out. And I will do a Chunambadapashik.
Holy Dharma stuff.
Yeah, I will do some kick-ass dharma. Okay, it means that. It's a very common,
I must do something.
it's a common series of words. Chunambadapashik. Chunambadapashik. There's another similar phrase. Anyway, I will do one heck of a pure dharma. Okay, I have to. Okay, could you go? So obviously you can't translate it that way, but I'm gonna do one amazing practice of the dharma. Okay, I have to. That's the meaning of Raptachung. Okay, keep going.
Sutra number dapa?
Yeah.
Sutra number.
Yeah, pure morality.
Ditsamne ka sam kong tu shu kyurun dupe.
I'm gonna take this in pieces because it's a little difficult. Okay. Di Tsamne, at this point in his talk, okay, at this point in his talk, the Lama paused for a regression, you call it? Digression. He did a digression. Kasang,
Yesterday.
yeah, like the other day, I would just say Kasang. Before, Shugyu Lu means, I forgot to tell you guys something. Yeah, something to be mentioned was left. Okay. Shu is the polite word for teaching people, which means to prefer. Yeah, I was preferring the Dharma to you. And gyu here means future, or to be done. Future, it's like the future participle. Gyu can sometimes be cha.
Oh yeah, like Cha. Yeah.
Okay, so there was something I meant to tell you the other day. So can I just pause a bit and go to that? Okay, it's interesting. That means it's really a transcript. I was going to tell you guys something the other day, and I left it. So lu means body, but sometimes as a verb it means got left. Okay, Duke, something I wanted to say and I forgot to say. Okay, go ahead.
Konki harchune tangmu chu nawe tse shepala.
Let's pause there. Kongi means in the lines above, previous. Okay, kongi here means above, right? Meaning the lines previous. There was a line that said parchune damuchu nawe tse, right? Okay, nice poetry. He did the whole line. Parche,
Between
obstacles, ne.
sickness, yeah.
And then muchu, which is a very rare word, and it means dropsy, which means an excess of water in the body. Okay. Dropsy, D-R-O-P-S-Y. I had to look it up, okay? I don't know the word. It's the English word for the disease. And it's an old word, they use when they used to bleed people and stuff. Yeah. So the root text said, when you get a sickness which interrupts your life, or when you are ill from dropsy, okay, shepala, now keep going, pe
ka shik penga shik ne chip chong ne tang shik chungwe
Okay, and let's stop there. Bega shikne means some additions of the carving. This means becha, some carvings, some additions. Be means becha means script book, print wood block printed book. In some of them, it doesn't say parchune, it says pejongne. Okay, which is, you can see where it would be similar in the Tibetan script.
Because the NG and D.
Yeah, D is similar to R.
And the Ra and the
And yeah, so pejongne means a disease of the phlegm. Okay, which is peken. Okay, peken means phlegm, one of the three humors of the body. Okay, I translated for a couple years for Yeshi Dundun, and so he drilled all me this stuff into me. Bechongne. So you get a She Jungwei. So in some carvings, and I believe the carving I used for the course 14 said Bechongne.
Water filling my limbs, something like that.
Something like that. She Jungwei, you see it. Jungwei means you can see it. It occurs in certain texts, in certain carvings. You see this alternate spelling. They Wang to Chena. Now, if you read it that way, if you stick to that reading, okay, if you read it that way, then the Pe, the BAD, refers to Beken, which is phlegm humor, excess of phlegm in the body, as opposed to bile, chipa.
And lung.
Yeah, wind.
Yeah.
Okay. Kine. So it refers to a disease of the phlegm. Okay. And then chong in that case would refer to beken le shenbe chongchen kine shen diseases other than beken diseases, like water and wind diseases. Okay. No, water and phlegm. Sorry, wind and phlegm, right?
Wind and
bile.
Bile. Sorry. Yeah. Beken le shenbe, other major diseases other than phlegm diseases. Okay, I have a phlegm disease. Then you have a lot of water dripping out and stuff like that. Okay. Ne dang. Shen kong du shukbe. Ne shen kong du shukba. Ne shen means other diseases other than phlegm diseases have gotten into you. Kong. Kong means into your body. Okay. Have gotten into you. Kapsu tapatar gyurkyang sedan chulan tembushig lote matak kapsu tapatar gyurkyang. So you can read it in the way it's generally understood. You might on occasion have what we said happen to you. It might be other than phlegm diseases, major other than phlegm diseases, but in this context, in this text, it refers to sicknesses that have festered in your body. And then tembushi means tiny little problem, like you make a mistake and you eat something you shouldn't eat. Or you do something you shouldn't do, like you go jogging. You do yoga when you're just about to catch a cold. Have you found that that's really bad for you? I don't know.
Yeah, especially if you're exposed.
Yeah, something happens.
Your pores open and the wind gets in.
So that's called, chembu means all you do is you eat an olive or something, and then because you have the predilection towards that disease, it triggers it. You're talking about sudden triggers of a disease that is already living inside of you for years. Yeah, and you just have one candy bar, or you do one down dog, and it will rise. Dung. Okay, where is that? Dung. Yeah, it will come up. So usually dung means anger, S-D-N-G, but this spelling means it will manifest. Okay, it'll manifest. Okay, instantly. That's the meaning of chongne in this line. Okay, so the be chongne is two parts. Bei means phlegm diseases. And then Chongne specifically means other diseases that tend to get triggered easily because you've had the predilection in your body for a long time. And he finishes his aside.
What was the karma that he was discussing in that case? Do you remember?
He's going to tell you.
We're over time.
I'll go back there. I'll take you back there. Look, this is how you go back, okay? It's very easy. Do a GCO. Do a GCO, right? It covers Chu and Chong.
Okay.
Go backwards. Here it is. Okay. Oh, what was the problem? Right here. Oh, the problem was the disease.
Oh.
Okay.
No, what did you do?
Oh,
That refers to
you were not Pak Yopa
you were not careful.
with the Sangha's finances.
Oh.
Core means the Sangha's finances. Yeah, or the Sangha's possessions are also called core.
Another reason why
Okay.
monks don't want to take care of the money.
Yeah, that's a famous thing.
Our Nagashina was the accountant.
It's too volatile. The karma is too touchy.
Okay, thank you, Fish.
You're welcome. Now I gotta find where we were. What's it? Beichong? Yeah, there it is. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna stop here, right? Okay. By the way, that serwa doesn't mean claim, as in the Kachik ser.
It means I said it.
It just means it's what we call a custom. What do you call? You have the predilection and you eat a bad candy bar or something, and comes up. What we call a triggered disease. So it doesn't mean claim here. It just means what you know that stuff they talk about, that you have a basic imbalance and then you eat a candy bar and it sets it off, and you get sick. Okay, so that's what Bejong means. So he was bothering him. Somebody came up to him and said, "Look at my carving. It has a different expression here," and he had to explain it.
We talked about that a few times.
It's been a couple times, and no one has ever found, right? The letter. He was handed a letter by Dharma Rakshita. We don't have the Sanskrit. We don't have the Sanskrit. I would give my kapte for 2 New Year's to have that Sanskrit. It was lost. It's been lost. Yeah.
Sashi
Peki Joshi Metotam Riram Ninshin Inde Tempadi Sangye Shintu Mikte Uwagi Rokunanda Shina Chupasho Iram Guru Ratnamandala Niyatayami Di Keokun Sanam Yeshe Tsotsoshi Sanam Yeshe Lechungwe Tampa Kuni Topasho. Yay! Yay, Seiji!
Thanks.
We get one normal text.